Alright, we are back, everyone. Tayan is beginning his investigation of... or his second investigation of the warehouse. And I do want to say, you know, one of the reasons why I don't have a map up is because I have one map for the 3 warehouses, and I basically just, like, shift around where the rooms are in my head, depending on which one you're in. So... I apologize if I have not adequately described the interior all that well, but also keep in mind that you're also getting this all through your familiar.
Okay.
So. Alright, so he's advancing carefully further in, where he remembers the creature was before. And... he's still relaying to you that there are footsteps up, you know, up on the upper floor.
Does it have dark sight? Because it's a familiar.
Many animals have much better night vision than humans and elves. It's not infravision though.
It can see in the dark.
It can see well enough in the dark, yeah.
But it smells better than it can see.
Yes.
Well, I was just wondering if it actually got sight of said creature, could it try describing it somewhat, or no?
Yes, to a certain degree. I mean, it wouldn't be describing it; it would be relaying feelings related to it. But Leva would be able to interpret those. But a lot of it would be based on things it's familiar with. You know, like it might, if it saw a rabbit, it might relay back, hoppy prey creature, long ears kind of thing, is kind of like the feelings that she would get back. You know, but if it's not familiar with the creature, then, you know, there's...
describe like horns or long legs.
You'd be getting very different feelings. She may be able to interpret them properly, she may not, depending on the nature of the creature and the description.
As I remember from last time, it was more or less just a big shape in the dark.
It never saw it.
Never saw it? Yeah,
No.
okay.
It never saw it at all. And actually, let me double check to see if it's described as having any kind of, like, really good sense of smell or anything like that.
Which one, the ferret or the creature?
The creature.
Creature. Ferret.
And it's not a ferret, it's a sleek.
Yes. Ferret-like creature.
Yes.
Spraying hands is a really good combat.
Is a sleek considered a prey animal or a hunter? Because
no,
they
it's a
have
predator.
different scents.
It's a predator.
I'm guessing all the ones that doesn't have spell pages on them is 1 page each.
You know, it's probably like a bit like the food chain. A sleek would be a predator, but to something smaller, but might easily be a prey to something bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but prey and predators have very distinctive smells.
I think the general rule is prey animals have eyes on the sides of their heads, and predators have them on the fronts of their heads.
Yeah, but that also generally applies to animals as opposed to monsters.
True.
It can be anything with monsters.
Yeah, monsters have eyes all around their heads.
Well, when they prey on adventurers, nice, juicy, delicious adventurers. Okay, I've confirmed for myself what I want. All right. Were you conveying to it to, like, keep to the shadows, the corners, the edges, kind of thing?
Yes.
I would assume that's careful.
I implicitly told it to be very careful.
Okay, and that's kind of what you're expecting from careful.
For me, that implies that it keeps to the shadows.
Okay, I just wanted to check. It is conveying to you that beyond the staircase further into the building now, the smell is getting stronger, and it's stronger than it was before. So the impression that you're getting is that while the creature clearly moved around quite a bit after the incident last night, it's still primarily moving around in the further part of the building. It came out a bit to the other part of the building, but it's still kind of, spending a lot more of its time further in where it was before.
When you say in the corner where it seems to have been before, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In the from the point of view of where you came in, further into the building, i.e., deeper into the building.
I put an X where I think it is. I tell Tayan to look around for a hiding place. How could I convey that? And listen.
Okay. It goes around the corner from the office, which essentially projects into the building, and goes into the corner and just kind of like hunkers down and listens. You get the impression that the creature upstairs that's moving around, Tayan understands that what it's doing is has an element of impatience, perhaps a little bit of anger, and it's conveying to you that it is making some sort of vocalizations, but it can't understand them. It doesn't know exactly what's going on. But based on the way that it's moving around,
like he's expecting someone to show up,
or he's talking to someone.
No, it's alone. It seems to be alone, so let's say it this way. Does Tayan only hear the creature upstairs muttering to itself, or is there a voice answering?
You are getting the impression from Tayan that there's only the one voice. There's no other voice.
Okay. How good is its hearing?
Pretty good, but it can't convey what's being said.
Okay. That's not what I meant. I meant, can it hear really well, or
it can hear really well. Yeah.
Okay.
It can hear really well.
And does it hear anything from straight ahead, where the creature seems to be?
Nothing that strikes it as being animal or creature. It's not hearing anything further in that's giving it a sense of danger or warning. There's a lot of boxes and barrels in this part of the warehouse, so it's, for Tayan, it's kind of maze-like. Mm-hmm. So he doesn't have great depth of vision through all the stuff that's in this part of the building.
Does it sound like the creature may be sleeping?
Assuming that you ask Leva to relay that, it's not hearing anything that sounds like an animal sleeping or a creature sleeping down here.
Does it hear any creature breathing from straight ahead?
No. But it may not hear, most creatures breathe very quietly.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it has to move closer if we want to find out. But I won't. Not my.
But we we really need to make some noise in the end to hear that the noise from inside.
Hmm.
I mean, do you want Tayan to try to knock something over and then run out?
I don't know whether it's going to be fast enough.
Well, you don't know.
You could try to get closer to identify where the creature is.
I would suggest that Tayan goes back towards the exit and tries and knock something out over there, and then runs out.
Okay.
And I tell Yeldin what I just told Tayan, so maybe he can get in position or something if he wants to.
Okay. Just for your reference, Sleeks have a movement of 36. Humans have a movement of 12. So it's fast.
I tell Tayan to wait a little bit. So
I'll get in position by the exit point then, and then keep my ears open, I guess.
Okay. Are you gonna try to hide in shadows?
Yeah, I don't know, because how my disguise is good, right? So
Yeah. I mean,
If I'm not walking with you, yeah, you should hold up.
well, I mean, if you fail to hide in shadows, it just means that you're not hidden from sight, kind of thing. I mean,
Someone
still needs to like look at you, kind of thing, to see you, and your disguise might hold up. Who knows?
that's in the wrong spot. That should be.
Well, I roll for it because you don't really know if you've hidden in shadows well or not.
Yeah, I know. Okay, well, I was just thinking, okay, 40 without armor.
It's 25.
So half
Yeah.
of that is 20, so 25 with the charcoal.
I think it's a little bit more. I think you have 45 without armor.
Without armor, but then I'm in a city landscape, so it's half.
Right, I know, but I believe the base is 45. So
My
you're gonna
base
end
is,
up with about 27.
My base is 35 without any armor modifying it.
I think you're missing a modifier then.
Because I have very base from my class, because of my class, is 15. Plus 10 from my race, plus 10 from my dex.
yeah, then you're at 35.
Right, but did you increase it for going up a level?
For
Because you're level 3 now, you
I
should have
believe-
20% and 27% for hide in shadows and move silently.
Where is that? Capabilities, level 3. Oh, well, am I level 3?
Yeah. That's what your character
fuck.
sheet says.
Fuck, yeah. I did not update it, so yeah.
Yeah, it gets better.
20 in hide and shadows. Let me update that one.
Is it a linear scaling, or is it?
I'd have to actually go look at it.
And 27 to move silently.
Right, so you've got 20 plus 10 for being an elf, plus 10 for your dexterity, and then plus 5 for no armor.
Plus another 5 for my thing.
Right, but that applies afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm applying that afterwards. So
Yeah,
45 down to 27 plus down to 22 plus 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and roll.
What did you have?
27. All right, you don't know whether you're hidden or not, but I made the roll. So it'll have to be based on whether someone looks at you or not. It's late-ish. There's not a whole lot of people moving around. A lot of the people who are moving around tend to be a little bit tipsy or drunk, at this point anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So no one's really paying much attention to you as it is, but we'll just kind of see how it goes. So you're now up against the building. You know, you've got your ear pressed tightly to the wall, I assume.
Yep.
Okay.
I tell Tayan to move it, and then shortly before it leaves to try and knock something over. It doesn't really matter what it is as long as it makes some noise.
I should have passed in my listening code.
Oh, too late now. All right. Just you don't have anything in mind that you want him to knock over from the previous descriptions of the place?
I can't remember everything.
Okay,
that
so
was...
so basically you're just letting him decide on his own.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you get the impression that he's going back into the office, to the shelves, and then Yeldin, you hear a loud clattering, some sort of metal on stone, followed shortly after by Tayan squeezing out of the board, right where you are, and then basically dashing off towards Leva. So you're listening intently, and let me go ahead and see if you hear anything.
I don't know if Elven hearing does anything, but or any elf traits help, but
You do hear two things. Number one, you can hear very loud well, okay, it's technically three things. You can hear very loud humanoid cursing from a deep-voiced male, and some heavy footfalls on stairs. Also, you think you hear whip cracks. They sound very, very much like whips.
You want to make that intelligence roll now?
Yeah, you can try that.
3.
You suddenly remember that your master in the Ranger Arts, it's a little bit hazy, and you're definitely not remembering everything, but you remember a story about creatures with, smallish creatures with very long whip-like tendrils that were oftentimes eaten by a flying creature called a periton. You can't remember like what this was all involving the story-wise, but you remember that because you remember your master describing that they attacked with their tendrils and they made sounds like whip cracks.
Okay, well, I get out of there, and then I think I got an idea of what it might be. I need to do some research to confirm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But keep in mind that now there have been 2 incidences at this warehouse.
Yep. Did I understand what language the guy was cursing in?
You're pretty sure it was common, but you couldn't actually make out anything that was being said.
Okay.
No, we just try a completely different tactic, you know. We don't have to skullduggery it around this time.
So you regroup with Leva and Lafdul.
Yep, and I tell him I have an idea of what it might be. I don't know for sure. I'll have to do some research.
Yeah, that's fine. You, probably the Rangers place, the Elven thing, without.
That's really good.
I can go to the Seekers, is what I was
Yeah, well, that as well.
Can you remember whether these animals were used as security, as guards?
I said I don't know for sure. I remember something about what a type of creature that eats a creature that makes the sound, that attacks using tendrils like whips, and it sounded like whips. So
that's weird.
So do you want to...
You gave me an actual name for the creature that ate the other one, right?
Yeah, periton.
Yeah, so I can look up periton, see what creature, and then see what type of things it eats, and then go from there.
You're familiar enough with perytons to know that they are well, they eat almost anything.
Now,
That narrows it down.
They are pretty cruel flying creatures. They have bodies like large birds, but they have heads like stags, deer with great antlers, and they eat meat.
mm-hmm.
And they cast shadows like humans.
So why would that warehouse have one of their prey inside the warehouse?
Well, the thing is they eat just about anything, but
Yeah, and
I
this
think
was
I can, with the knowledge I picked up tonight, I think I'd be able to do some research and figure out what it is.
this was part of a story. So there was obviously something else going on, some reason for it to be part of that. It's you know that you know the point of the story was not the perytons or the creatures being eaten. It was just incidental to that, but you know the sound of this triggered in your head that bit of the story, and you can't really remember much else from the story. You're pretty sure that the rest of the story was unimportant for this creature.
Mm-hmm. It's more the creature I'm worried about than the story at the moment. But.
Yeah.
So yeah, I figure I can look it up tomorrow morning. So I just said let's head back to the inn before people start showing up or whatever is gonna happen.
Okay. So you guys are all gonna head back to the inn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Get some sleep and go to the Seekers tomorrow to do some research.
Do you guys want to discuss this before going to sleep?
So what'd you guys find?
Confronted. How do you react?
I explained to him that I might be able to figure out what it is with some research, but it doesn't seem like it has anything to do with anything, but I'll figure it out once I do for sure, once I do some research to figure out what exactly it is.
Okay. Was there any paperwork or anything like that you guys managed to get from the warehouse?
No, not this time.
No,
I don't think there
there's
should be a next time after 2, because in order to hear what the sound the creature made, they had to knock something over. You use the familiar to knock something over, so I don't think it's a good idea to visit there a third night in a row.
Well, there's 2 other warehouses.
Don't need to investigate the other warehouses. I don't even know why we're investigating this one in the first place.
How many more days do we have before we need to get going?
So after this, it'll be day 5. The Calhane ship will be coming in on day 7, and then day 9, it's planning to set sail again.
Okay, so we got a few more days.
Mm-hmm.
Never met a ranger that didn't enjoy sneaking around places.
I am much better suited to the woods. I sneak around in the woods, not the city.
Well,
And
would this be a challenge then?
Things. I'm not hunting in the city. I don't need to hunt things in the city.
Well,
Usually I'm sneaking out in the woods to hunt for
okay,
food.
now, what's wrong?
Sneaking or hiding in shadows in cities is not my thing. Usually I wouldn't even consider doing such a thing usually. It's more of a hiding in the woods to get from creatures that might frickin' try to eat me rather than having to kill everything that tries to attack
So
me.
you've never been hired to deal with a local incident in town where there's been like a wild predator. You've been hired to track it down, find out what it is.
Oh no, I probably have been. I have been hired in the past to hunt down wild predators that kill people. But that's still, I'm in the woods, not in the city, because it's usually in the woods. If it comes into the city, usually the guards or something, attack it and kill it.
Oh, they might hire a specialist.
They hired us to go.
Well, if it's already in the city causing a ruckus, people usually react right away. And usually, I don't generally end up staying in the city. I usually camp out in the woods most of the time. Now I'm gonna go to bed.
Okay.
All right.
The rest of you guys want to discuss this a bit more, or what?
Yes, I'd like to hear some theories on if Yeldin is right. Why would they need a prey animal as in the warehouse? Why would
Guard
they?
I
dog.
explained to her that whatever the earlier creature eats just about anything is a rather vicious type of creature.
Mm-hmm.
So it probably might be a prey animal to it, but it in itself might be a type of predator that could be very dangerous.
Okay.
Guard dog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
From what
generally,
I understood, the way you described that animal, it's basically a predator that hunts on other predators.
which one, the Periton or the
Yeah,
creature?
the Periton. The
Uh,
Periton.
it doesn't just hunt predators.
Yeah, but it does eat other predators and
Yeah.
such.
It's an opportunist hunter.
And it's very high on the food chain.
Mm-hmm. AKA, the story was probably about the reasons why you just don't get involved with it.
You would know enough about Peritons to know that they are classic monsters as opposed to just unusual animals. Like a lot of quote-unquote monsters, out of game for
AKA,
a
it's
second.
it's not of the natural world.
Yeah. They're very difficult to kill. Peritons.
Basically, it was some sort of wizard creature that was created and then ended up multiplying.
Or something like that, but you know enough about it that it is a monster's monster, essentially.
So why did your teacher use this particular example of this animal? That sounds like quick.
I don't quite remember the details of the rest of the story. I just know it's not entirely related, but the sound reminded me of that part of that story.
Okay.
Do you think they could be selling this thing? I mean, they sell weapons.
I honestly don't know. Like I said, I'd have to figure out what it is first before I can tell you more.
Mm.
So if I can get to sleep and we can get to tomorrow morning where I can go to the Seekers and start researching this.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if they are behind this and they're not someone who's being attacked, if it's some sort of ruse, when we still don't know yet, but if they are behind it, we might come up against this thing.
We could start looking up stuff for like unusual pets and creatures, for some kind of exotic zoo to see who's been selling what stuff afterwards. This is a lot of like segueing, but
Well, we do have a
Anyway.
few days to do other things if we want to.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So the rest of you are going to go to sleep now?
Yes.
Yeah, for now we're asleep.
Okay. All right. So it's now day 5. You guys wake up. What do you guys want to do now?
Well, Leo has to buy some provisions like meat for Tayan, or food for Tayan, and ingredients for her spells and stuff like that. Well,
Okay.
I have no spells, so I don't even know what ingredients I need.
Well, I mean, you can just say that you do that and figure that out in between sessions, right?
Okay, let's do that.
As long as thing is like if anything, the only things you need to keep track of is special items that it says it requires, like, and it costs a certain amount of gold, like the $100, like the 100 gold piece per to identify.
Well, if you want me to identify, you'll have to pay me because I just spent 1,000 gold.
Yeah, I know. I was just using that as an example of things you need to keep track of for spells. Generally, you don't, as far as I know, you don't, unless Ald says differently, you don't need to keep track of the small things unless you can as much.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't done a whole lot here, so I haven't charged you guys the just the nominal fee for replacing used and expired ingredients, so to speak. But if there's anything specific you need for a new spell that you've got, then you'll want to get that. But you can just say that you're spending some time today doing that, and then figure that out in between sessions. We don't need to.
Yeah, let's do that.
I might have an idea of what we could possibly try. So this will involve Braxon, no doubt. I'm good. Well, we know there's something going on there. Yeldin's going to be doing some research. We can try a different tactic. We've tried sneaking around. How about we go with a more upfront approach? And I assume Ockar isn't here.
Well, you can talk about this because
Yeah.
if you talk about
So basically, I'm gonna acquire some documentation of repairs, and our local carpenter is gonna do some repair work. You love repair work, don't you?
That's one way to go, but do you think we could actually ask to buy some of the stuff they sell and see if they'll show us around? Or do they have a shop somewhere else?
Well, it's just a warehouse, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're shippers primarily.
I want to go too because I want to accompany them with Tayan. And while we go into the front, I want Tayan to go into the hall.
Yeah, this is Akiko Narumi.
Oh, it's well.
Wait.
I'm just
There's
saying.
somebody- Hey, what's the?
Hang on, Ockar, you've gone really quiet. I can't hear you.
However, she doesn't know her father died.
I think we're getting some like TV background or something. James?
No, that's him talking. He's just really quiet.
Oh, sorry.
No.
There you go.
I muted myself.
Go ahead, James.
No, that was some background
That
noise.
was background noise.
I
Yeah.
thought I muted myself. Sorry. The doctor is not here. I can't really say anything.
Well, I mean, you can be there if you want.
Yeah, but are you guys discussing the whole break-in thing or whatever?
We're done.
Oh, then yeah, I can show up.
We are in the morning after deciding how to actually approach the warehouse in a proper way. There's no reason for you not to be there.
True, I could be there for that.
Well, since I haven't left for the
instead of
secrets yet,
just
I'm gonna say this.
all tricky.
Hang on, Yeldin.
You two are talking over each other. James, go ahead.
maybe instead of being all tricky, trying to make up a reason why we're going in there, we could just make it a formal investigation of what's going on using my authority as a paladin.
That might work.
All I have to say right now is there's no reason we need to go in there. Just because there's some weird creature that they're probably using as a guard creature.
But what's it guarding?
And why are you so insistent that there's no point? I mean, there are plenty of people who are interested. Why are you so insistent that there is no point? Because
So I'm
not
curious
known whether
about why
there's
you guys
point
are
or
so
not.
interested about this factory and why you know that there's some kind of creature in here. How did you come across this information?
I didn't understand the
We
last
heard,
bit.
I just said heard it after a disturbance on the heard the creature from the inside after a disturbance on the inside.
So you just happened to be walking by and then overheard it?
Basically.
Just as a kind of a point of order, Ockar, if they told you that that Leva sent her familiar in there to kind of scout out the place to see if there was anything dodgy going on, that would not be that much of a problem for you, because you're talking about an animal.
Okay.
And you're talking
so
about
it's
scouting out
between...
rather than thievery.
So it's the difference between that thing and if Lafdul had done it.
To a certain extent, but I mean, you don't really know that Lafdul is a thief, for one thing.
Yeah.
But there's also, I mean, ships are being sunk, people are being killed. You're lawful good, not lawful neutral. So you understand that sometimes, especially with unjust laws, you need to break them and stuff like that.
Okay.
But you're also, more of a you tend to prefer the direct approach if possible. Subterfuge is certainly not out of the question.
Well, that's why I recommended I just go in and say, I'm a paladin, let me investigate.
Sure. I mean, you can certainly try that.
I would look at that won't work unless we can provide a very good reason to investigate.
Well, yeah, that's your job to find the reason.
Well, one thing is, we already have a relationship with the house.
Not a very good one, because they didn't send that information they said they were going to send.
I know.
Yeah, they still haven't.
I know, but we have approached the leaders of the house. We're investigating an attack on one of their ships, and we'd just like to see what sort of cargo they take. We could try that sort of approach. See how we get on.
I do remember that
they would rather just.
They told us no, or at least when we did ask to see their cargo area, they told us no.
It's like a trade secret, though, isn't it?
So all the others were open about it and let us look at the cargo area, right? If I understand.
I don't think we asked.
I don't think we went to the other warehouses.
I just remember asking the one that seems shady. Can't remember the name. Torlin. I remember asking them, and that person was very against it.
Yeah.
But isn't that the way we're looking at now?
Yeah, that's who you're looking at now.
Yes. I remember one of the others was asked, and they were open about it.
Were they?
Okay. I may misremember, but that's what I remember.
If they were, it was that first one we saw.
Ylar.
Yes. The one where a woman wasn't there?
That was Calhane. That was the one that hired you. Sora Calhane is the head of that house. She hired you. I don't think you've done any investigation of her.
Correct.
No.
In case she hired you to try to throw suspicion off herself, kind of thing.
Yeah, misdirection.
Oh, the people that we asked to look at the cargo hold, did they seem particularly suspicious about not allowing us to do so? Because
Nah.
I could put my authority down there saying if I thought it was suspicious enough.
But you don't. I mean, you're a
How-
paladin, but
actually,
you're not like part of the watch or anything like that.
Yeah,
True,
not the police.
that's-
yeah,
true.
that's what I was thinking.
That's
Like, I don't
try
think
bluffing.
you really have any authority other than you're a paladin, which just makes you a good person.
I mean, you could try bluffing.
I have a really good charisma.
You don't have the proficiency, though. Because it is a proficiency, isn't it?
Well, there's a proficiency for fast talking, but you can. I mean, you can just. Anyone can try to bluff.
I have like an 18 charisma. I could probably somehow pull it off.
You say that. I've rolled 2 20s today.
Well, technically, I did. I mean, they were your skills, but I was the one rolling them. Well, I mean, what do you guys want to do?
Well, I can attempt to bluff our way in there, but that depends if you guys feel like it's a good idea.
I honestly don't think it's
I actually think
necessary.
I think it's a good idea if you go there, and I also I think I can say that I'd like to send in the Tayan because once you leave, we can tell a lot from their activities then.
Well, how about this? You go in under the pretense that you've been told that there's an evil creature in there.
I've heard rumors of an evil creature in here. May I please investigate?
Are you allowed to lie?
I'm allowed to bluff
It's not exactly lying. It's
because you guys told me about it, so I could say somebody. I don't have to be very specific.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a very good idea.
Hmm.
I don't know why you guys are insisting on investigating this.
Because they're suspicious. That's why they're insisting on it. They're suspicious. I mean, obviously you're not. You can choose not to do anything, but I kind of feel like if they want to investigate this, then, and you're not interested, then you can just let them go about it. Stay back at the inn or something like that. But
And also, don't forget, even in real life, if you just take everything at face value and you go out and meet this Scavver of which you don't know whether it's a real one or not, and it may actually turn out to be something far more deadly than that, then you are dead. Whereas even if it looks ridiculous to you, if we go and check things out and we actually figure out what it might be in beforehand, before we leave, we are in a much better position. And that means checking out stuff, even that sounds very disconnected to what we expect to see when we go out.
So
Well,
the way I'm thinking about going about it is I would walk up and say, I am a paladin tier. I have heard rumors of sounds of some kind of dangerous creature coming from this building. I would like to investigate with my friends here to see if these rumors are well founded.
So who is there with you?
Well, I'm telling the others what I plan to say to the guys when we get there.
Okay. Yeah. I'll come with.
yeah, we can go as an entire group or something.
Could you at least let me figure out what the creature is in the first place before?
Yeah, probably let him do that.
We'll give you
first.
time to do research to figure out what it is first, so we don't. So it turns out it's not just a cat or something that the familiar was afraid of.
Yes.
okay, so Yeldin is going to head to the Seekers. Is that correct?
Yeah, because they're the one with the library that probably has something on it. So
Okay. You talk to the essentially the librarians about what you're looking for, and they get you a few books. You spend some time perusing them. Go ahead and give me a wisdom check.
wisdom, okay, that's a bit higher for me. That might not be a success.
Can he read and write?
Yes. Elvish. I can read common.
I can only read.
My
I'm Elvish.
took one off. My wisdom is 16.
You got good wisdom actually for a ranger.
Okay.
Wisdom is my spellcasting stat. So
it actually won't
Of course I
affect
have good
your
wisdom.
it won't affect your spellcasting actually.
it affects my spell DCs and things like that.
It affects some saving throws maybe if it's high enough. I don't remember, but regardless, you're not able to find much. Perhaps part of it is either the lack of appropriate materials, or perhaps the librarian isn't exactly understanding what you're looking for and isn't able to supply the right books. But you are able to determine that the creature is called a whipsting. They are sometimes domesticated, but otherwise it's a predator that tends to live in rocky subterranean places. And it has a mild poison. That's about all you're able to get out of it.
They are sometimes tamed, though, right?
They are sometimes domesticated, yeah.
Can I guess that they're domesticated for guarding purposes?
Yes. But
All right.
they could be pets, too.
It could be
wouldn't imagine
trafficking
why
exotic
someone would
pet.
keep it as an actual pet, but okay. I go back to the inn and I share this information. It's just a creature that people sometimes tame normally. I'll make sure I put that in there. That it is somewhat normal for people to tame them, even for having as a pet, apparently, according to some of those folks, which is a little strange, but.
Okay, so you share it with the rest of the party. Is this gonna
Yep.
affect what you guys want to do?
No. So what Ockar proposes to say about the dangerous creature is actually quite correct.
It's dangerous, but it's probably a tamed one, so which means it's probably just there to guard the place. Is all I'm saying.
You would just verify the safety of it.
Yeah, I just want to make
It
sure
would
that,
give you an excuse to get in.
yeah, just verify that it's not a threat to the public.
Okay, so
I just
you're gonna be
roll
doing this on
my
your
eyes.
own authority as a paladin.
Well, I wanted to say that these people are going to help me investigate this, especially the ranger who knows creatures the best.
Yeah, but the ranger doesn't.
I didn't want to be involved in that part.
If you don't want to be involved in
all
it,
I'm
you don't have to be.
gonna
You can
say.
stay. You
Well,
can stay
then
back.
Leva, who is a wizard and probably knows quite a bit about this, just lie that you do.
I'll come with. I already said I'll come with because I want to send in the Tayan to see what happens after we leave.
Okay, so Ockar, Leva, and Lafdul are going. Yeldin, you've decided not to?
No, because I don't think there's any point to it, but I'm just going to let them do it anyway.
Right. So you've decided not to go with them.
Yeah, you're just not going,
Yeah.
that's all.
Okay.
What about
What about Braxon and Higgimus?
I'll go if you want me to. Unless you think we
More
should be
the
off
merrier.
with Yeldin doing something else.
No, if they decide to let us look, then it will go faster if all of us are there.
Mm-hmm. And
Okay,
then,
well if
then
there's
Lafdul
no other-
can do whatever he wants while we're busy talking with the guys.
Yes.
there's no other tasks we need to be doing that we'd be doing at the same time, then Braxton will come along.
Yeah, I suppose I would as well.
All right. I mean, no one said anything specific about wanting to do anything else, so it sounds like everyone but Yeldin is going. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So you make your way down to the warehouse. You stop, like around the corner kind of thing, away from it. It's now coming on to about lunchtime.
Just as a FYI, I'm carrying various thief tools.
Okay.
They're in my backpack, though. It's not too obvious.
So you've stopped a little bit of ways. Is anyone going to like split off to do anything while Ockar is, going up to knock on the front door, so to speak?
I don't split off, but I tell Martin, tell Tayan to enter the building from the hall.
Okay.
Ask Braxon to turn to Ockar and say, do you want us to come with you and let you take the lead? It's like bodyguards or something.
Yeah.
How do you want to play it?
Monster hunters. Killing time as a group company.
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Braxon's asking you. You're the one that seems to want to take the lead with this. We can play along. You're the leader. We'll play along. We're like your troops.
You
kind
can
of
be,
thing.
yeah, you can be my associate at the church. We can pull it off like that, or something like that. Like you're my men. You listen. You follow my orders or something. We'll just bluff that in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Lafdul, are you going to do that as well, or were you thinking about?
I am going to tag along with the party, but if an opportunity persists, if I can maybe walk slightly over to the side, then I will walk slightly over to the side.
Higgimus, what do you think? Do you think we should do march?
I'm kind of iffy on this to begin with. But I think we should act like we're either hired by Ockar, or act like his subordinates in this case.
Yeah. So should we march along behind him?
Yeah, that's probably about right.
Yeah.
Odds are they're going to tell us to get lost anyway, but who knows? He's a pretty persuasive fellow, so we give it a try.
Okay, then I will walk up with you guys with me and proceed to knock.
Okay. Braxon's going to do his best marching.
Okay. Real quick, I'm not exactly sure what you were planning, Lafdul. Are you
Basically, they go in there, they investigate, look around. While the said person is distracted with the company, I can possibly go into another room and look at stuff quickly.
Okay, so this is going to...
If an opportunity exists.
So your actions are dependent on getting in the first place?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's just what I wanted to check.
If I get an opportunity, then, I'll try and slip away and, go into another room, quickly scour through, find anything valuable, maybe put something in my pockets, but I don't know. I'll think of it when it happens.
Do I know enough about Lafdul to properly know that he's a thief, or do I just know that
I get up to no good. That's about it.
Huh?
He has a certain set of skills that allows him to get into places, ideally undetected, and
how he got
perhaps
about those skills
extra legally.
I know that Levan knows a little bit more than the others. So
yes,
I
you know a lot more than the others after the other night.